One of the best punting days of the year, if not the best.
I would have thought so, but it would be remiss of us if we didn't have a nod back on the week that was. And it's fair to say, and I think we should lead with this, that the GPO got one over us on the weekend.
The GPO pulled our pants down and reminded us that we, in fact, weren't in heaven.
No.
We were very much still on planet Earth.
Yeah. Got the wooden spoon out and gave us an absolute workover.
Mate, a genuine belting. A genuine belting. I had a nightmare of the day on the punt. Hey, I hope you're keeping tab, drifters, because they happen pretty frequently. As opposed to my days that are good on the punt. But, you know, it's just it was a humbling experience.
It was. It was. I miraculously had a great day. Quinella of Think It Over and Jewess saved me. That got me back. And then,
Great Quinella.
Then I declared before the race, I might add, I declared Russo an absolute moral to everyone that would listen, and then he subsequently won. And I was like, did anyone get on? And nobody did. So just goes to show how much my opinion actually matters.
Look, after smacking about 1,000 Zupa Dupas and ginger beers, I actually think I was not only blind but also deaf. So perhaps I could be excused. I would say the only thing going for me is that I'm not blind, deaf and dumb, but unfortunately some of my decisions on the weekend on the punt were dumb. So blind, deaf and dumb. Yours truly.
Well, and we must say, not irresponsible, but just dumb.
Yeah, not irresponsible, not at all. Very responsibly dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look, I just had a shocker. Would love to know anyone who picked Rockin' Horse for the Newmarket.
We know someone, the bloody manager at the surf club.
That's right.
He had won 50 grand. He had a monkey on it.
Oh, I don't know if he had a monkey on it.
Well, that's according to a very reliable source.
Yeah, a very reliable source who himself had plenty of sauce that day. So,
mate, he was in fine form.
He was in great form.
I don't think there was a race he didn't punt on. He was zigzagging. I reckon he would have got up like 50,000 steps.
100%. He was going to South Australia. I think potentially in New Zealand as well, New Zealand.
I think he might have even delved into the dishes at one point. When, you know...
Hey, that's a treacherous path I don't want to walk down.
No. You and I, we're very much a pony guy.
But strong pony guy. No trots, no thanks. No chariots in this household. No dish lickers. Love greyhounds. As a dog, sick.
Yeah.
They're so calm and collected when you walk past them, and every hipster who has one in bloody my neck of the woods, Tenerife. But yeah, as a punting prospect,
yeah,
personally, perplexed.
Not for me.
Yeah,
not for me.
Yeah, not for me.
Speaking of your neck of the woods,
the reef.
Well, that general vicinity, you know.
Okay.
I would say probably around Hamilton, that type of area. Albion, you might say.
Yeah.
You might have seen a rival betting agency that will go nameless. They put up on their social media the greatest punting venues of all time.
They did, yeah, okay.
And coming in at number 4, they had the Brecky Creek Hotel, which we thought was an absolute disgrace.
Oh, stinky decision. Boo! Boo! I like the next fine Queensland citizen.
Sure.
Patriot? I don't know. Loves the Breakfast Creek Hotel. Love it.
Resident was the word you were looking for.
That's the word I was looking for. Love it just as much as the next resident. However, not for
the purpose outlined.
Not for the purpose outlined.
No. If you need a steak, brilliant. If you want one off the wood, and if you don't know what that means, jog on.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you want a nice schooner or a pint of Forex bitter off the wood,
sheesh.
Like that's your go-to, right?
Yeah.
The beers taste different. The taps are cold, beautiful. Their tab setups are one of the worst of all time.
Oh, horrific tab setup.
It is set up so they can hose it down after all the patrons have left.
Yeah. So these jokers who shared that, it came in fourth place. Doesn't bode well for the remaining three.
I couldn't agree more. Like, and they're supposed experts. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe we should at least do something for Southeast Queensland.
Sure.
It'd be remiss of us to, run a poll for the greatest places to punt in Australia because whilst we're relatively well-travelled to pubs in Australia, we don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to crossing state borders.
No.
But I'd be confident in our ability to have an unbiased poll for places to punt in Southeast Queensland.
Yes.
With the preface that everyone knows what number one is.
Yeah. Yes.
Like before the competition even starts. Number one's already signed, sealed, delivered.
So if if you're not a surprise type of person, if you're a person that doesn't like surprises,
If you're a spoiler type,
Yeah.
If you're the type who before you go to watch a movie does a quick synopsis read on Wikipedia, this is the poll for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So coming to an Instagram feed near you is our top 5 Brisbane punting venues.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that, mate. Look, we'll consult the broader group because I don't want us to jump the gun.
No.
And we have some opinions that are valid.
Yeah.
And different opinions.
Personally, I think we probably need to start playing away more often because we go to the same pub a lot at the moment, the QA.
Yeah, we do. And QA for me is the convenience is through the bloody roof for me personally.
Same street.
Yeah, same bloody street. Arthur, how are you? But keen to play away. There was a weekend that we were locking in preemptively.
I can't go.
Oh, fuck. That's horrific news.
I could probably make it to maybe the Quaddy Legs, maybe, but I'd definitely be driving. But we can take that off air.
Yeah.
But I think it was the Ferny Grove
Tavern.
Tavern near Joshua.
Hey, mate, I used to venture to the Ferny Grove Tavern when I was a young little pup, first moved to Brisbane and we lived in Sanford. Mum and Dad would take us there for a feed, the Ferny Grove Tav. I can't say I spent any time at the TAB when I was 10 years old.
What's Mick doing?
Yeah. But very keen to check it out. I don't know, do we need to wear Kevlar, like a bulletproof vest?
I'm not too sure.
I don't think Ferny Grove's like that sort of neck of the woods.
I don't think so. I think it's more this area, to be fair. But look, the last thing before we get into the brilliant weekend that is this horse racing, and might I just say, I've found something at odds in the slipper that I really like. So
Sheesh.
you need to stick around. But it would be remiss of us if we did not mention congratulations to our great mate, Mitchell Swepson, for making his test debut, number 464 test play for Australia.
So proud of you, mate. Say that with absolute pride.
Yes.
That we are so proud of you. Yeah, unbelievable. We're at the greatest place on earth. Hey, let's set the scene.
Yes, please do.
Let's
because
set the scene.
I have a bone to pick with Pat, Captain Pat.
Yeah, potentially, but let's set the scene. We're at the GPO, the greatest place on earth. Whilst the punting didn't go our particular way with regards to the ponies,
Had a great time.
had a terrific time. My team, the Dragons, give me 2 seconds. I could absolutely butcher this, but we'll see how we go. My team, the Dragons, who won the premiership in 2010, have started the season off with an absolute bang, beating the hapless Warriors comfortably. Comfortably, might I add. So, dusty. So they were playing,
Yes.
and one of our best mates, Mitchell Swepson, makes his debut for Australia on another TV screen. The ponies, the beach, the company.
And it was heaving by race 9.
Absolutely heaving.
Yeah.
What a great weekend. What a terrific reward for him for all of his
Yes.
hard work. I haven't played cricket with him. You've played plenty of cricket with him.
Oh, ages ago. But
Yeah.
never a shadow of a doubt that he was going to do us and himself, his family and his nation proud. Just wish they could hang on to some catches. So, but this could be a totally different podcast. And speaking of podcasts, we'll definitely get him on to talk about this tour.
100%.
Which will be fantastic. So I think he gets back around the beginning of April. But
Yep.
I echo all of your thoughts. Congratulations, Swep. Looking forward to having a schooner soon. Should we get into some horse racing?
Oh, if you guys want to listen, mate, so keen for the weekend. It's a cracking day of racing.
Super Saturday or just leave it in the past?
Super Saturday. Oh,
So Rockin' Horse, the New Zealand form was probably better than what we thought. To
Yeah,
be fair,
I
didn't
think
even
so.
know the horse was in the race.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there is no way in hell I'd ever pick that. There's no way in hell I would have picked any of the first four. You've got the Astrologist running into second, September run third, and then Levante into fourth, I believe. Look, the inside rail further away from the stands was a superior track, but I still don't think it would have changed the result too much. Home Affairs, apparently, his first 600 metres was up there with the fastest first 600 metres in Australian racing anywhere in like the last 5 years.
Yeah, it
like
was-
a top 10 ridiculous speed.
I
He
think
went out way too fast.
I think he was leading Sunlight by 3 to 6 lengths when
Yeah.
she won, and she nearly broke all the records when she won or down the straight. So, yeah, he was, and from what J-Mac was saying, he saw him in the peripherals and he's like, I think we're running time here, but if they're keeping up, I need to go quicker. So, which is a fair statement because they're all bloody any price. So yeah, just a weird result. These things happen. Great ride by Paddy Maloney. So well done. Duis was fantastic off another hot speed set by Spanish Mission. Really unfortunate that Bray has to give it away now because Spanish Mission finished third. It's good for the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And then Lighthouse.
Yeah, form
brilliant.
Form behind Forbidden Love is really good form.
Yeah.
To be honest, missed it. If I'm honest, just looked at Lighthouse. I was like, no, right there. went to Expat, so that was silly of me. Espiona, thoughts?
Just probably prep too early. I would
Agreed.
say.
Dry track, spring.
Yeah.
She bounces back.
Springtime filly. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get Melbourne out of the way. And that's not saying that it's a bad race.
I think it's a good race.
It's the All-Star Mile. Star-studded, you might say. So you have, and it's important to know this because there is no Drifter of the Week this week, but we will be including a new punter this week of sorts. There is 15 runners. That's important to note. Zaki is the deserved favourite, but he has drawn the visitors draw, I might say. Jamie Carr rides. Then you have right up the other end against the fence, you have I'm Thunderstruck with Jai McNeil. And then you have Inspirational Girl in 4 and probably Tafane and, of course, Pinstriped, who you could say was unlucky in the Guineas. I think he was just NGE, not good enough. And I think this chances start to fall away there. I have an inkling of where you're going, but please talk to it.
I think that Zaki wins this race by about 2 or 3 lengths. It would have been more if he didn't draw the car park, but man, wait for age, 1,600 metres. This was his grand final, not the
Yes.
Queen Elizabeth. This was. First up, over a mile. That's not what he wanted. They were sitting, they were walking, turned to a sit and sprint. That didn't suit Zaki, but he nearly won it anyway. He wins this easy, I think, Zaki. Look, if Lightsaber decides to actually get out of the blocks, I reckon Zaki will just follow him.
He's a real Anakin Skywalker type, isn't he?
Yeah,
Doesn't
he
know.
is.
He gets lured in by the dark side far too easily.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he needs Obi-Wan. Oh, look, I think Zaki comes across from that wide barrier. sits maybe 2 or 3 pairs back. As long as they get him out early enough over the free-flowing Flemington straight and so he can build into his stride. Yeah, easy mode. Wait for age, mate. He's one of the best wait for age horses in the country.
Oh, probably the best one we have.
Yeah. And Annabelle Neesham, geez, I trust her judgment. She's like, I know Zaki's been pretty good over 1,800 metres and 2,000 metres. But I think he's a miler.
Unbelievable.
No, yeah, wins. Thoughts?
So, in summary, I would classify that as like the ballot box bet because you just got all these boxes and he's just ticking them.
Oh, he's ticking so many.
He's ticking them.
He's ticking so many. And, yeah, the barrier's not ideal. Would have loved to have seen him draw like a 7 to 10. He will need a little bit of luck, but he's got the best jockey arguably in Australia on board who's just ridden 5 winners in bloody Adelaide on Monday.
Yeah.
Jay Carr, softest hands in Australia.
Mate.
Essentially a feather, like a pillow on board Zaki. He might go to bloody sleep.
A 59 kilo feather.
Exactly. Oh, no, yeah.
Silk hands.
Yeah, I reckon he wins this. Haven't even given it any thought.
I have given this some thought because if yours is a ballot box bet, mine is a crystal ball bet because I need a lot of things to happen here. Wasn't enthused when I saw
Barrier 1
for I'm Thunderstruck.
I wouldn't have been either.
And neither was Mick Price. He basically was like, oh,
yeah,
now I'm nervous.
Yeah. He sees the number. He's like, oh, shit.
So, yeah, wasn't that enthused. But what I might say is this. This is a Flemington horse. He's got it written all over him. He needs a big straight to wind up. You know, he's won quite impressively at Caulfield previously.
He has, yep.
But I think he's only raced the once at Flemington, albeit in horrific grade, but he put them away easy. I think he can get back to his best here. Now, this horse did come back fat as a bus, and he's been... Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. have just been trying to get this horse fit. This has always been his grand final. They have slackened off on that slightly because he is heading to the Doncaster as well.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great shout in the Doncaster.
He has 55 kilos there, though. That would be close to top weight, I would imagine. So
potentially, yeah.
I actually think he might be better suited here. At weight for age. Now, you might say he hasn't done it at weight for age against the older horses, but he did it in a handicap. And what he did do that day, that was probably the ride of the spring by Jai McNeil.
Oh, Jai, yeah. Threaded a needle.
Had a tiny little bit of space, and then he went through it. Aggressive rider, aggressive horse that likes to go through other horses, which he might have even done in the Golden Eagle. Why not? I want to find out. I'm Thunderstruck on top for me. I've only bet on him once before in the Golden Eagle. So hopefully I go for 2 for 2 here. So I'm Thunderstruck, Zaki. Obviously the danger, inspirational girl, just not suited at the weights here, but she's drawn perfectly as well. And I think the roughie, if you can even call it that, is Tefane.
Yeah, going to ride her cold.
Apparently. So, and how could you underestimate the Mike Moroney stable at the moment?
I certainly don't. But no, Zaki on top for me. I think I'm Thunderstruck will run well.
Okay.
Do you know who's going to run to the bloody placings? Ice Bath.
Yeah. She's got life for me. No.
I'm not punning on her, but watch her run a bloody place here.
Yeah. All right. Now, the drifter of the week this week, because we did have Klutzy from Bloody Brilliant Beers locked in, but the big fella's sick. He's crook. He's lost his voice. So, you know what? Another time. What we will do is this.
Well, there's a bit of history to this.
There is.
So
the Australian Guineas, I believe.
No, it was the what race was it? Blue Diamond.
Yes,
it was the Blue Diamond.
Apologies.
If you listen to that podcast, there was a bit of usage of the random number generator because it was a bloody lottery. And the result that it pulled up was a lottery result, really, a $20 thing.
Yeah.
And when you look back through the form, you're like, oh, no, yeah, fair.
Yep.
Fair that I won. But anyway.
Yep.
So we used the random number generator to pick horses. And we figured with Rockin' Horse winning the bloody Newmarket on the weekend at $100 to 1, what do we know?
What do we know?
Let's let Google be Drifter of the Week
Yep.
with a random number generator.
Let's
So
do
you've
it.
got 15 horses in this race.
Yep. I've got 1 to 15. There's no scratchings. All right. Generate. He's gone number 15, pinstriped.
That's not a bad punt by the random number generator.
Likes unders though. $6 for pinstriped.
That's unders.
Please, he'll start tens.
The 3-year-olds do run
do
well.
They do well, but this is arguably one of the better fields. Okay, should we head to Sydney?
Let's do that.
Now, I think, again, it would be remiss of us if we did not mention the rain that is currently happening in Sydney. Apparently, there was nothing on the radars, and then they got it bucketed down there overnight. So it was a soft 7 this morning, and then it's been downgraded to a heavy 8. So they reckon a heavy 8, heavy 9 is what we're going to be playing on. So take that all into your considerations. But the Ramvet, 2,000 metres Group 1, Wait for Age, look, can anything beat VE here?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like this happens every time because whenever I jump on her, she loses. If you had to make a case for something, is it Montefilia?
Yeah, you could argue Montefilia will run pretty well over 2,000 metres.
I think 2,400 is probably a trip.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a trip. 2,400. I think she'll run well here. $5.50 to find out. Don't know about that. She scared everyone off here, and so she should. She's a bloody champion.
Yeah.
The way she won last start in the Chipping Norton, gets over to 2,000 metres here. Wait for Age. Draws perfectly. J-Mac on. Yeah, I'm not going to dive into that price, but I think she wins the race, mate.
I tend to agree. All right.
Does Google agree?
Now, this will be interesting. All right. 1 to 6, no scratchings, generate. Number 4, who is that?
Emissary.
Emissary. All right. Let's have a look here. Last start, ran 3rd in the Peter Young against Cascadian. So I would say that's subpar form for this race against this opposition.
Yeah, what are you doing, Google? That's a really left field pick by Google.
But Mike Maroney is the trainer and he's flying.
He is flying.
So stranger things have happened. Okay, now we get into the big boy stuff. Here we go. Rosehill Guineas. 2,000 metres, Group 1 for the 3-year-olds, set weights. It's the clash we've wanted all along.
It is.
Now, the wet weather might bring some other horses into the contest even. But I think basically it's for the first 4 in the market. I would say.
I agree.
I think you would agree, and I have a feeling I know which way you're going.
Just let me take a deep breath. Mo! Animo! Oh, mate, 2,000 metres, barrier 9, don't worry about it. Heavy 8, hopefully a soft 7. Converge last start, yeah, that was a pretty good run, but Mo was coming home like a freight train. Suited out to 2,000 metres, should have won the Cox Plate. J-Mac on board, stretch his legs a bit over Rose Hill. $2.05 with Neds. Overs? Nah, yeah. I can't jump off Mo. Why would I?
Why would you?
I think he can win this. Hopefully he's ridden a little bit more positively.
Of course he can win this. Is he going to win this?
Yeah, Mo will win this.
Okay.
Mo will win this, but I'm really, really excited to see the duel between Mo and Profondo. We've already discussed Complete for Give Job, his last start in the Aussie Guineas. I think it was.
Yeah.
There's no way you can go against him.
No. Look, am I confident that he handles a heavy track? Not at all.
I was just hoping for it. Do! Profondo! That's what I was hoping for. Mate, he might absolutely love the wet track.
He could.
I wouldn't say Japanese horses or Japanese bred horses have a strong inkling towards
You
it.
say that, but his half-brother loved it, Fierce Impact.
Fierce Impact did, yeah.
So, you never know. But, yeah, Profondo, has to be my on toppy. Just the scope of, look, potential is a dangerous word at the best of times, but the potential behind this horse is unbelievable. Have to have it on top. Anamoe, as mentioned in our March autumn preview with the mugs, I'm just not sure, and it's quite a ridiculous thing to say, I'm just not sure if he is genuine. Genuine might be the wrong word, but I'm not buying the Anamoe hype. I've never bought the Anamoe hype.
Yeah, fair.
In my humble.
Look, I've backed him essentially every start except for the Cox Plate.
Yes.
So I've bought into the hype. I'm not the number one ticket holder of this fan club because that'd probably be James Cummings.
You're in the
I'm in the upper echelon.
yeah.
I'm a member.
You're in the conversation.
I'm in the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'd say he's pretty genuine, 14 starts. He's finished top 3, all bar one, which I think was his debut run. I think he's a bit cultish at the moment, Mo. I think he wants to get to the paddock a little bit.
He's having a bit of a think about it.
He's having a bit of a think about it, but I think he'll be on. And I think he wins on the weekend.
Different types of horses, but reminding me of Bivouac at the end of his prep.
Bivouac was not interested in anything.
No.
Except for getting to the paddock.
Yeah, he was chewing his head off.
Oh, mate. When he was on, though, Bivouac was devastatingly good.
He was. Converge is obviously the other interesting runner here for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Timmy Clark just gave him an absolute peach last start. Might be hung out to dry out wide. Hopefully. Forgot You, I reckon, is the bolter here. Faultless prep so far. Arguably, this is his
GF.
grand final, and I think he's probably the one I'm most confident will get through the ground. So
True.
I think Forgot You is a cracking bet in this race, but Profondo has to be on top one. Has to be.
Yeah, fair. Look, I'll go for the first 3 in the market, Mo, Converge and Profondo.
I nearly forgot the random number generator. All right,
Don't
1
forget
to
that.
9, no scratchings, bang. It's with me.
Ooh, that's an
Profondo.
omen.
Profondo. There you go. Okay, the George Ryder, 1,500 metres, Group 1, Wait for Age. This is scrambling my mind a little bit, this race. I don't know about you.
Look, a little bit. Oh, and do you know why? The weather. The weather's scrambling my mind. If we're getting a heavy 8, heavy 9, like you said, well, Forbidden Love has to be in the conversation. She hasn't won over this distance before, but mare's in form, heavy deck, draws perfectly.
It's going to take half the field out if it's
Yeah.
that heavy.
Exactly. And Huey Bowman gave her a peach last start, but I don't think he had to do much, mate. Just led and pressed the button. She went strong through the line. So whilst you might read her form has over this distance 2 starts without a placing, she's a different horse this prep than what she was.
God, yeah.
I don't think the 1,500 is an issue here. I think she's drawn perfectly. If it's a heavy 8, heavy 9, I'm very close to being with her. If it gets down to a soft 7 or soft 6, I really like Mwanga in this race. Neesham came out and said today he's looked better than he's ever looked. I really like the way he finished off last start when resuming in the Futurity, running into second. We saw a lot of on paces, leaders, things on the rail winning that day. He was almost against the track pattern and he came home super strongly. Draws really well here. I think he'll be up closer, Mwanga. I want to be with him. But if we're getting a bucket load of rain, I don't think I can be against Forbidden Love because I think it'd be a stupid thing to be against her.
Yeah. I'm leaning the same way. What do you do with Colette?
Oh, no, not for me. Look, I like Colette. She has a really strong slashing run, and then I just think it takes her a while to come good again. I wouldn't be surprised to see her run into the placings here. And then if I can get a price about her, 4th or 5th up in the prep, yeah. But no, not here. I don't think so.
Yeah, she's proven hard to catch. Because she
Yeah,
wins,
very hard to catch.
wins on a good 3 in the Empire Rose. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, very, very hard to catch.
Before you go on to the next horse there, I've done some research on Colette.
Okay.
You know how we say that she gets handed around from the jockeys?
Mm.
This is her 24th start. Guess how many different jockeys she's had?
7.
12.
She gets handed around, Colleen, a little bit. She.
Oh, yeah. 12 different jockeys.
J-Mac on today, on Saturday, which is good.
I think J-Mac might have been on previous, but he hasn't been on in a while.
No.
Yeah, unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
I was in disbelief.
I was in disbelief.
Well, how do you see the race panning out for your back markers like your Private Eyes and Mwanga? Is he a back marker? Colette. Hungry Hearts resuming here. No, it's not resuming.
She hasn't run in about a month.
Yeah, so fourth first up over 1,400 metres.
Look, if I look through this field, right, I can put a line through the following. I can put a line through Colding straight away. He doesn't handle the wet, even if it's soft. He's getting old. He likes it rock hard. He likes to feel his bones rattle.
I think if it was a good deck here, I think the 34 with Neds would be overs for Colding because he'd be up on pace and he'd present every chance. And this is a great distance for him.
I look at his last 12 months and he's only won once from 7 starts.
And that was the all age, wasn't it? When we were on him.
Potentially.
So $10 that day, I think.
Potentially. So I think he might be getting worse with age if that is... He had a setback, but, you know, it's reality. Stats don't lie. Keeping Moanga in my numbers, but Nisham did say if it is in that heavy range, she's not sure. He has won 1 from 1, but I think that might have been his first start.
Yeah.
Private Eye... he was okay. He finished off well against Forbidden
Super
Love.
quickly.
And I feel like he will get through that heavy ground. 59 kilos, not a vintage edition of the race, but I think he will get through it. Barrier 1 is a bit Dallasan offers a little bit of interest. I think he will get through it, but he hasn't won in nearly 2 years. Riadini, no thanks. Banker's Choice, to be fair, not a great idea about this horse. But looking at its heavy record, it's got some sort of profile here. New Zealand horse, which, you know, they've just pulled her pants down. Mike Moroney, again, could just ruin lives. Laws of Indices, probably not good enough from what we've seen in Australia. Colette, as outlined, different form, heavy form against your own age versus open company. So that's what I'll say about Colette there. Forbidden Love as outlined. Hungry Heart probably not on a heavy deck. And then Halal, not good enough, I don't think.
Yeah. I think that's a really good summary of the race.
Probably unneeded for this race, to be honest.
No, you really got into it, mate, which I appreciate, you know. Look, I think, Forbidden Love and Mwanga for me, depending on the deck. I'll make my decision on the day as an astute punter would.
I'm leaning the same way. First thought, which is often best thought, was Mwanga. So
same here. But maybe Google will go a completely different route.
All right.
1 to 12.
1 to 12.
11 is scratched.
All right.
So that was Converge. Dual acceptor.
1, 2, 3, generate. Number 10.
Hungry Heart.
Oh.
Unlucky Google.
You never know. Chris Waller is an amazing trainer. Okay, here we go. The Blue Riband event. The Golden Slipper. Has the 2-year-old picture for you gotten any clearer?
It has gotten clearer because I think there's a few that I'm distinctly thinking are better than the rest.
Yes.
Does that make me think the crop is any good? No.
No.
Because they're not a good crop. But that's irrelevant when you're trying to pick a bloody winner. It all pays the same.
It does.
It all pays the same. Doesn't matter what time they run the race in. The odds don't matter. Mate, where do you start with this race? There's so many different things that have won and then done nothing the next week. And then you got the Blue Diamond trio who finished first, second and third coming in. Are they any good? You've got the favourite who's $4.50, Coolangatta, who hasn't run in 9 weeks.
On the drift, she is.
On the drift. Lol. Yeah. It's a bloody Rubik's Cube, mate.
All right. Let me help you here.
Okay.
Boys versus girls.
Okay.
So, of the boys, you'd probably say Sejardin and Jacquinot are probably the top tier, even though Dormier did win the diamond. And then Sebenak and Dormier are probably that rung below. Is that probably fair?
Best of Bordeaux?
Yeah, I'm just not sure he'll get out the 1200. But, he's only done what he can do. Probably in that A, he's a B+. There you go.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
Yeah. I think that's probably a fair assessment.
Yep.
And then of the girls, obviously Coolangatta's done absolutely nothing wrong. Revolutionary Miss has been very impressive. Russian Conquest has been through that Coolangatta form. And then you have a bit of a left field form reference with Lady Laguna, Fireburn, and of course She's Extreme. Now, of those fillies, I'd probably say Coolangatta is probably the most exciting prospect, but she's been scratched from a heavy deck before. So I'm not sure she'll appreciate it, because if she was right, why wouldn't she have run 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, you make a valid point. And on that, on the sex, the fillies have been smashing the clock compared to the boys through all the lead-ups. Look, a bloke won the Blue Diamond. I don't think any of those trio can win this. I think of that trio, Jacquinot is the one who'll run the best in this race.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm leaning towards the fillies to win this. And
so am I.
Yeah, I just think there's just a bit more X factor around the fillies. I don't know in which direction you're going. But for me, I've said all along there's been nothing that I've seen that's made me think Coolangatta doesn't deserve to be favourite.
Mm-hmm.
If we were getting a soft 7 or a soft 6 or better, I'd have no hesitation putting her on top.
Sure.
There has to be a question mark over her. There has to be.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't run for 9 bloody weeks.
That's a long time.
It would be record breaking for her to win this.
Unbelievable.
What I would say is she's with the right bloody stable.
She is.
Her rating in the is it the Gimcrack or the Grimcrack or the Grimac?
Gimcrack?
Gimcrack. That's the highest rated run out of any of these horses.
Yes.
And she did that first up. So you'd think that she'll take some natural improvement out of that. She ran the fastest time in that in the last 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah.
I think she just might be better.
Sure.
She's going to be up on pace.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tossing up between her and She's Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I thought She's Extreme run was awesome on the weekend. On the quick back up, if you look at each of her starts, improving each one, $8.50 I think is about right with Ned's. I do actually prefer her to Fireburn, even though Fireburn beat her last start. Anyway, story time. So, yesterday I was at a Brisbane Broncos corporate lunch.
Must be nice.
Hashtag Bronx Nation. Not my team, but I can appreciate the Broncos.
Go Planet Bronc.
And to entertain the guests as they were waiting out the front of the ballroom, there was a few blokes practicing magic, magicians, doing card tricks and the likes of. One of them comes over to us and is like, oh, a few card tricks. And he was very good. To be fair, he was good. Mm. And he did the one to me, which was write your name on a card.
Sure.
And then bit of shuffling around, bit of this, bit of that, pulls out a card and says, this is your card, isn't it? I wrote my initials DJ on it. That's the card, Drifters, if you watch it on YouTube. It's an 8 of spades. Guess who's fucking number 8 in this race? Coolangatta. I have to. I have to.
When the signs are there, you just got to listen, don't you?
Who would have thought this podcast turned into show and tell? Bet you didn't before it started.
I didn't. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I'm with Coolangatta. I think she's the best horse in this race. I think she's with a genius stable I don't want to be against. She's got the best jockey. Once emergencies pull out, she'll draw from a bit closer. She'll be up on pace. She's led her last few starts or her 3 starts so far. Word from the stable is she actually prefers something to chase. to show an elite turn of foot. I'd just be devastated if she won. I wasn't on her.
Sure.
She's extreme running into second for me. And Jack, slashing home for third. Sorry for taking the floor for so long.
Mate, please.
But that's where I'm at with the Golden Slipper. I am very aware of the fact that none of my 3 picks could run into the placings. But that's the risk we all take.
It is the risk you take. Okay.
Your turn, mate. It is, look, it's one of the biggest races of the year.
Hey, we may as well spend the most time on it.
Yeah.
Right? Look, what I will say is this. I finally got clarity on this race this week.
Did you?
I finally did.
Did you just wake up sweating profusely one night?
No. What I did was I was going through a few replays, looking at the acceptances, and I'm like, look, by all reports, it's going to be a heavy track, so I can put a line through half of these. Happy to risk Coolangatta. She might come out and win. So be it. Barrier 14, don't think that helps. Although, why barriers, they've won previously. Anyway. Now, what I did here from Monday, listening to The Verdict with Mick Sharkey, Michael Felgate, and special guest Anthony Cummings was on about She's Extreme. And they were, it might have been Ed talking about Anthony Cummings, his old man's horse. Anyway. And he was saying this filly is very exciting. And I honestly am looking at this market and I don't know what they're doing, because I look at Fireburn, who gave her Winburn last start.
Did you?
And she's $12. Now, this is my logic, right? So after that run, She's Extreme has come out and she put together that performance. Let's say Fireburn is open to the same improvement. Let's just say.
Look, it's a 2-year-old. It could go either direction.
Now, before the race, after She's Extreme came out, I think one of the ratings gurus, Daniel O'Sullivan, said that...
Big fan of Dan O'Sullivan.
Basically, she's one of the 3 that's put a rating up that is close to winning it so far in a subpar year. The one that's on the fence is Fireburn, who's very much up to improvement. Gary Portelli, I listened to his work during the week. I think this horse, who does get back, and I hate that in a Golden Slipper, but she has drawn barrier 2. I was like, surely he's going to hate that. He loved it. Loved the barrier. Because what he says, and it is true when you actually stop and think about the slipper, the 2-year-olds have no idea what they're doing. They fan out. So if she has a rail to guide her, similar to what She Will Reign did for Gary Portelli, I reckon, especially if it's heavy, they might forget about the fence, and we often see them sneak up on the fence.
Yeah, true.
I have a feeling she's going to do the exact same thing. She gets through the ground. I think she's a cracking bet this weekend at the $12.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a responsible go at her each way, but I'm really keen on her to win. Lady Laguna, look, what I will say about her is this.
Bit of a Kiyomichi feel about Lady Laguna.
It is, but Kiyomichi was winning. Lady Laguna went down to Melbourne for a trial in between her last run and the slipper. Didn't run in Melbourne at all. Got Linda Meach on, so she's familiar with the horse. This horse has already travelled to Queensland, and I think that might just sharpen her up if, she lost concentration. Might just be that little bit extra that Annabelle Nishan's been searching for. She could be that horse that is on the inside of Coolangatta and might drive her a bit mad as well, because she isn't seeks the lead. Look, they're the 2 I'm going to be playing around in my exotics as well, because I had a bit of luck with SRMs for the first time ever, and it was bloody exciting. So, and they're both a price. Happy to play it, but Fireburn's my clear on top selection here. Later Laguna into my selections as well, and then of the Melbourne runners, I did like Sebenak.
Yep.
So
that try could pay anything.
It could, but I feel like it's that type of year.
Oh, it very well could be. I can't argue with anything you've just said at all. at all. Can Google argue, though?
Well, we have 1 to 20 here with 4 emergencies, so hopefully it doesn't draw 17, 18, 19, or 20.
Well, we can go 2 numbers.
There you go. It's irrelevant. Number 4, it's got
Charlatan. Oh, you're joking.
Hello. Best of luck to Joshua, who has been bonus betting this horse into the earth.
Yeah.
So
31s with Neds.
31s with Neds. Give it strength. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened, mate.
Alrighty. Now the Galaxy. I was furious when Marzu didn't accept here.
Mate, and the fact that he didn't, I was like, well, wherever he's racing, that's my best of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just couldn't believe it because I think I was looking on the Racing New South Wales site, right? And I was looking at how much weight he would have. He had 50 kilos if he went here. Now, that might not have actually got him into the field. He might have been an emergency, which is maybe why they didn't take him here. I don't care. Because I just think he would have been one of the bets of the day, even in this race. Isotope is your favourite. What are your thoughts on a heavy deck if we get there?
Oh, look, it's not ideal for Isotope, but I'm still with her.
She gets scratched on soft decks in Brisbane.
She does, but I'm still with her.
Yeah.
I'm with her. If Marzu was in the race, they would have been my 2 picks in the race. Marzu's not, therefore Isotope's my on top pick. I can't not be with her, mate. I'm a big fan of Isotope, as you know. Look, $3.90, potentially a little bit skinny, but I like her in this race, mate. She makes her own luck. Her run in the Magic Millions sprint, it was just unreal, mate. It was unreal. I felt like the whole of Queensland was with her. I think the whole of Queensland, or most of, will be with her this weekend. Yeah, I'm with Isotope, and it's a equal parts heart and head bet.
Sure. This is definitely me overthinking this. But look, I'm just a query on Isotope even on the heavy ground. I'm not going Brooklyn Hustle's way because she's no better. Brooklyn Hustle is definitely one of my favourites. I looked through this field and I did mention Bella Nipotina on our Mugs preview. Just wasn't in the right part of the ground for Oakley Plate Day. But gee whiz, then you look who finished runner up there, away game against Marabi, and she's got 1.5 kilos off her here. Not much in a sprint, but away game's low flying this prep. And she did run second to Isotope, but she was leading there. Don't think that's her go. She'll get a sit off the speed here. With Linda Meach in the saddle, I think she can win this race away game. Wet deck is a query. She hasn't raced on it in a very long time. And some of those soft starts were when she wasn't going as well, but she's turned the corner here. I think I did declare her on this podcast that she would never win another race in season 1, but there you go. She has. So I think she's quite genuine now. Definitely in the race. Pulele was the other one I was looking at.
Yeah, I think Pulele will run a cracker here. It's such a tough barrier from out there, but and
he's done his best racing at Randwick.
He has, yeah.
So that's the only other thing.
And the rail's 2 metres out as well, we should add, at Rose Hill. So anything like that for Rose Hill just accentuates the on-pace and leaders bias even more so. So, yeah. How about Shelby 66?
Well, I was just about to say that arguably the best form in the race.
Oh, unbelievable. Been going for 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 weeks in a row, Shelby. And what a story that would be.
Unbelievable.
To win a Group 1 with a horse who's a 5-year-old gelding who ran, was it a midway or a highway 3 or 4 weeks ago?
So let me talk you through his last 5 runs, right? So the one he started with was a highway class 3. So class 3 is for the uninitiated. You can only, the maximum amount of wins that you can have had in the past to enter that race is 3. So that's think that's all that you need to hear there. He lost that. He ran 5th. Then he went to, I've gone a week early. Doesn't matter. So he's entered a highway class 3 and he's run 2nd there to Golden Point. 2 horses have won since this race. I think it probably is him. Then he's run to a highway class 2. So, step back in class and then he's put them away quite easily. Then he's run 2nd to Eduardo in a Group 2 and then he's won a Group 3. One of the great ascents of all time. So, but obviously he just loves the wet ground.
He loves it.
And yeah, he won't be on, I won't be on side, but it'd be a great story regardless. All right. I think that's Group 1 territory all done. There was a mountain to get through, but
We just need the Google random number generator, our drifter of the week.
Thank you.
I almost forgot as well, mate.
Thank you. All right. 1 to 18, 1 scratched. Ooh, 17. I don't think 17's in the race, is it?
Delexo is in the race. Oh, no, it's not yet.
an
Shelby
emergency.
was the first emergency.
Okay, so 17 is the... All right, we're just going to give...
I reckon we'll re-roll.
All right. Number 11.
Paul Ailey.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Drift of the week has some good picks. Thanks for coming on.
Okay. Now, I had to talk about the Mugger 2, the Regal Power, and then any other bets that we had.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yep.
All right, so the Mugger 2, race 7 in Flemington. Let's have a look here. 1,600 mile race. Did you have any thoughts here at all?
Nothing particularly strong. I'd bet on Bermudez in that race.
I didn't mind Gentleman Roy. Form behind Yonsei, who looks a cracking bet on the same card. Yeah, very, very honest, this horse. Hasn't run outside of the Quinella this prep. Just keeps on keeping on. What about what is the other one? The Regal Power. Race 8 at Flemington, the next race. I've actually got one here that is probably this podcast has been very critical of, but I'm happy to be on side this weekend.
Who are you with?
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, okay.
Number 6. I think he actually won this race last year and he came out and won it by about 6 lengths.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think there's a massive tail to this race, to be fair. And the stable did come out and say that he wouldn't win first up, and when he did not. Gets out to his probably his best distance here. Jamie Carr in the saddle. Looks a bet at $8.
I've just noticed that number 11, Emissary is also in the Rambit Stakes, which is the drifter of the week's pick. So, dual acceptor. Let's say if it goes to Melbourne and doesn't run in the Rambit, we can give the drifter of the week VE.
Sure.
Let's do that.
All right.
That race, I was on Defibrillate last start when it won at 12 or something ridiculous. He was carrying the top weight then, does it here again. Can win. Also like Desert Icon in this race, but probably not a punting race for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's the other 2 features that I had us to roll through, but I have one more before my best. Did you have any others?
Well, Zaki's one of my best of the day. It's not my best, and I really like Yonsei again. I think Yonsei's a genuine group horse. I think before she gives it away, she'll be a Group 1 winner.
Yep. No, fair. Before my best of the day, I liked race 4, number 1, Lelude.
Yep, great punt.
Just gets through the ground easily. Wide draw is a slight query, but I think this mare got back in onto the winner's circle. I think she can do it again. I have a feeling we have the same best bet of the day.
Yeah, Rose Hill, race 2, number 4, Marzu. Look, if I'm considering him for a Group 1, the Galaxy,
Listed race,
then he's got to win this. He's got to.
He'll grab him.
He's come back an incredible horse. He's running time since the ultimate gear change. Yeah, Marzu, $2.25 with Neds. That's my on toppy easy.
I couldn't agree more. So maybe our best bet of the day is Yonsei into Marzu. All up. Bang.
Bang.
Bang. Thank you for coming. But look, it's been fun. It's been good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking weekend of racing. Hey, if I can find a coupler, it'd be better than last weekend.
That's true. I'm really keen on Fireburn. I've been really happy to pot these 2-year-olds, but I think it's almost like that Russo race. It's like it's like it's just come in front of my eyes, and I'm like, this all just makes sense now.
Hey, if that's happening, mate, if it wins, I'll be happy for you. Not on it. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Alrighty. Best of luck, drifters. But if you're having a punt this weekend, please do it responsibly.
Good luck, drifters.